picture this. You're 3 days into a solo backpacking trip. Everything's going great. You step off the trail for 30 seconds, just to relieve yourself behind a tree. When you turn around, you can't find the trail again. No big deal, right? You'll just retrace your steps. Except that's exactly what happened to a 66-year-old hiker named Geraldine Largay on the Appalachian Trail. She was less than 3,000 feet from the trail. That's about the length of 8 football fields. She survived for at least 26 days out there, alone, writing in her journal every day, and she was never found alive. So today we're answering the question a lot of solo campers don't want to ask. Why is camping alone actually so much more dangerous than camping with a friend? And the answer isn't really about bears. It's about something a lot sneakier. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, let's be honest with ourselves. Pitching a tent at a state park campground with your car 10 feet away and a bathroom down the path? That's not really danger zone camping. You've got cell signal, rangers driving by, and neighbors within shouting distance. The real risk starts when you go backcountry. No roads, no cell service, help that's hours or even days away. That's the kind of solo camping we're talking about today. And here's the thing, the deeper you go, the more one simple fact starts working against you. There's nobody else there but you. Now here's where it gets interesting, because the danger of solo camping isn't really about the wilderness. It's about what happens inside your head when you remove your backup, your hiking partner. In a group, tasks get split up. Someone reads the map, someone watches the weather, someone sets up camp. Alone, you're doing all of that at once while you're tired, cold, and stressed. That's called cognitive overload, and it makes people miss things, a shift in wind, a trail marker that doesn't look quite right. But the bigger problem is this. Without anyone to say, "Are you sure about this?" your brain starts trusting its own bad ideas. If you've already hiked 2 miles the wrong way, you keep going rather than admit the mistake. You convince yourself a landmark looks familiar just because you want it to. In a group, someone challenges that thought out loud. Alone, nobody does, so the small errors just keep piling up unchecked. Engineers have a term for this actually, a single point of failure. One part breaks, the whole system goes down. In a group, if someone gets hurt, the others become the medic, the shelter builder, the rescue caller. Solo, you are the entire system. If you go down, everything goes down with you. Now, all of that is what makes a small mistake spiral. But here's the mistake that search and rescue teams actually fear the most, because it doesn't come from panic or bad luck. It comes from your own body quietly shutting down without you noticing. A twisted ankle, a slip on a wet rock. These sound minor, but break a leg alone, miles from anyone, and you can't walk to water, can't gather firewood, can't reach your emergency device if it's 10 feet away in your pack. A totally survivable injury turns into a slow, quiet crisis. Then there's hypothermia, genuinely one of the scariest things on this list because of how sneaky it is. As your body temperature drops, one of the first things you lose is your judgment. You stop making the decisions that would save you, like putting on dry clothes. Some people even start taking clothes off because their confused brain tells them they're overheating. A hiking partner would notice the slurred speech and force you into a sleeping bag. Alone, nobody notices. You just quietly stop making good choices one by one. Here's a number that puts this in perspective. Researchers studying national park rescues found that about 1 in 5 people who need search and rescue would die without it. Now imagine you're the one person who can't call for that help. That 20% starts looking a lot more like near certainty. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Okay, but what about bears? Here's the twist. They're statistically almost a non-issue. Animal attacks make up less than 1% of wilderness deaths. You know what actually injures more people every year in Alaska than bears? Moose. Seriously. Unlike a bear, if a moose charges, you don't stand your ground, you run and put a tree between you and it. But here's the pattern worth noticing. When animal encounters do turn deadly, the victim is disproportionately alone. Groups make noise, look bigger, smell like more people. Animals avoid all of that. A solo hiker in Denali once stood 8 minutes photographing a grizzly at close range. There was nobody there to say, "We need to leave right now." He didn't leave. That's not really a story about a dangerous bear. That's a story about nobody being there to interrupt a bad decision. And here's the fact that surprises most people. Wolves, the animal horror movies love to blame, have caused only 2 confirmed fatal wild attacks on humans in North America this entire century. You are in more danger from the walk back to your car than from a wolf. Here's something wild: without a landmark to walk toward, humans physically cannot walk in a straight line. We drift in circles, sometimes as small as 20 meters wide, just from tiny differences in our stride. So when people panic after realizing they're lost, they speed up, trying to force their way back. And that drives them deeper into unfamiliar terrain. And your phone won't always save you. Cold kills batteries fast. Signal disappears in canyons and thick forest. A group can pool 2 phones, a compass, and a paper map. Alone, when your one tool fails, you've got nothing backing it up. Flash floods, falling dead trees, nicknamed widowmakers. Lightning, river crossings that sweep your legs out from under you. These hit solo campers and groups equally. But surviving them is a different story alone. If a tree limb pins your hiking partner, you lift it off and call for help. If it pins you when you're solo, you're just stuck. Here's the part most people never think about: the math of finding a missing person. If you're lost and walking for 24 hours at just 2 miles an hour, the search area balloons to over 7,000 square miles. That's why staying put, instead of wandering further, is one of the single biggest survival factors experts recommend. And if nobody knows where you went in the first place, that reporting delay alone can stretch 3 to 7 days before anyone even realizes you're missing. And this is exactly how dozens of small problems combine into one tragedy. Geraldine got briefly disoriented. She had no satellite device. She tried texting for help but had no signal. She pitched her tent under a canopy so thick that search dogs walked within 100 yards of her. 3 separate times, and still missed her. She survived nearly a month alone out there. Not because she panicked. She actually did a lot right, staying put and documenting everything. But the system around her had zero redundancy. One misstep, and there was nothing and no one to catch her. So here's the actual takeaway from all of this. Solo camping isn't dangerous because the wilderness is secretly out to get you. It's dangerous because when something does go wrong, there's no backup system, no second brain to catch the mistake, no second pair of hands if you get hurt. That doesn't mean you should never camp alone. It means if you do, you close that gap yourself. Leave a detailed trip plan with someone back home. Carry a satellite communicator instead of relying on your phone. And if you ever get disoriented, stop, don't wander further, and make yourself easy to find. Geraldine wasn't defeated by a bear, a mountain lion, or a wolf. She was defeated by one wrong turn, and by having no one there to notice it. That's the real danger of camping alone in the wild. If this helped you see solo camping a little differently, hit subscribe, because next week we're breaking down exactly what gear actually saves lives out there, and what's just marketing hype. See you in the next one.